Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into a classic. Stephen Covey's The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. It's huge. Our mission, we want to pull out those core ideas for you and show why these habits are still so incredibly relevant, especially, with all the information flying around these days.
Absolutely. And this isn't just about revisiting the book itself. It's more about understanding how you can actually use these principles, use them to learn faster, cut through the noise, and honestly, just avoid that feeling of being totally overloaded.
Okay, so let's start with mastering ourselves. Habit one, be proactive. Sounds straightforward, maybe. But it's so foundational. It's this idea that, between what happens to you and how you respond, there's that space where you get to choose. How does that idea, that choice, and Covey's whole circle of influence thing, how does that help with today's information chaos?
That's really the core of it. Instead of just reacting, every email notification, every news alert, being proactive means you choose. You choose where your mental energy goes, your circle of influence. That's where you actually can make a difference. And the insight there is by deliberately putting your energy there, you sort of reclaim control over your attention. And attention, well, that's everything right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so once you're grounded in that proactivity, habit two builds right on it. Begin with the end in mind. So, defining your destination before you start the journey. How does knowing your end goal help you sift through, just the sheer volume of stuff out there?
Well, think of it like your internal GPS. If you know where you're ultimately headed, maybe a big project goal or a specific skill you want to learn, then you can filter information based on relevance. It stops you just clicking and consuming, kind of randomly. Having that clear end in mind means every article, every podcast, hopefully even this one, feels like a deliberate step. Your actions align with what actually matters to you.
Right, it gives purpose. And then that leads straight into habit three. Put first things first. This is the real practical bit, isn't it? Prioritizing the important stuff over the merely urgent. But I mean, let's be honest, that's incredibly tough in our always-on world, right?
Yeah.
How do we even tell the difference when everything feels urgent?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. It is tough. Covey's matrix helps, separating tasks into urgent, important, not urgent, not important, and the time wasters, not urgent, not important. The real, the real trick, the insight, is carving out time for that not urgent but important quadrant. That's where the deep work happens. Strategic thinking, relationship building, actual learning. It feels counterintuitive because the urgent stuff is always shouting loudest.
Yeah, the notifications, the emails.
Exactly, but focusing only on that often just leads to being busy, not necessarily effective, not moving towards that end in mind.
Okay, so those first three are really about getting your own house in order, personal independence. But Covey says true effectiveness comes when we work with others, interdependence. Which brings us to habit four. Think win-win. This isn't just splitting the difference, is it? It's this abundance mindset idea. What does that actually mean when we're, say, collaborating online or sharing information?
Right. It's way beyond just compromise. The abundance mindset is key. It's the belief that there's enough success, enough credit, enough knowledge to go around. It's the opposite of scarcity thinking, where it's like, if you win, I must lose. With abundance, you believe that by working together, we can actually create more,
Yeah.
more value, more knowledge. So in practice, it means seeing knowledge as something to build on together, not something to hoard. Win-win means everyone feels genuinely better off from the interaction. It builds trust.
That makes sense. Then habit five, this one feels huge, especially now. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Empathetic listening. How often do we just not see this happen? Especially online. Everyone's just waiting to type the reply, maybe not even really reading properly.
Oh, constantly. It's the difference between listening to reply versus listening to actually understand. It's profound. Think about researching something complex. If you only look for points that confirm what you already think, well, you're not really learning, are you? True understanding, even when reading, means trying to genuinely grasp the other perspective. It leads to much richer insights, better synthesis of information.
Yeah, deeper understanding. Okay, next up, habit six, synergize. Valuing differences, working together for solutions better than any one person could manage. Creative cooperation.
Exactly. Synergy isn't just compromise. It's not even just cooperation. It's about 1 + 1 = 3 or 10 or 100. It's taking different perspectives, different skills, and combining them in a way that creates something totally new, something better. Imagine tackling a complex problem. If you have diverse viewpoints genuinely interacting, you often unlock solutions that nobody saw initially. It's about leveraging difference, not just tolerating it.
And finally, the original seven wrap up with habit seven, sharpen the saw. Regular renewal, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. This isn't just take a break, right?
Not at all. It's the habit that makes all the others sustainable. Think of it as essential maintenance. If you neglect one area like you burn yourself out mentally by never taking breaks from information or ignore your physical health, it drags everything else down. Sharpening the saw prevents burnout. It ensures you have the energy, the clarity, the resilience to keep applying the other habits long term. It's crucial for cognitive endurance.
Okay, but Covey didn't actually stop there, did he? There was a follow-up, the eighth habit. Find your voice and inspire others to find theirs. How does that fit in?
Ah, the eighth habit. It sort of elevates everything. It moves beyond just personal or even interpersonal effectiveness into, well, into contribution and leadership. It's about finding your unique talent, your passion, your voice, and then, crucially, helping others find theirs. It creates this ripple effect. Empowering others unlocks collective potential.